Welcome back to the second and final video for your alien drawing. Now I've gone ahead and added some color to the work, and that's always what you do when you're thinking about adding color and shading, is take a color, decide where it goes, and add it very lightly. And if you're not certain of an area, leave it alone. You'll make a decision about those areas later, okay? But what I was certain of, I went ahead and did, or at least I had some certainty. And knowing that the crystal ball would be bluish, and knowing the teeth would be somewhat yellow, and the eyes would be a little bit bloodshot, and I might carry some of these same colors over here and balance them out, those were my beginning decisions. And everything else is made in response to that, okay? You don't have to make all your decisions at once. So the tongue, I guess, can be red. You can mix your colors. We're going to talk about color mixes in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and lay that color down pretty lightly, knowing that if I have to go back to shade later on, I will. I could press harder with the red and get a darker color, but I can also just go in with a darker color. This happens to be a purple. Now, what's interesting about mixing colors is you can do it in a smart way. Red's complement happens to be green on the color wheel, so here I have a little bit of green. Mixing green with that red truly gives you a more convincing shadowy effect where you want it. The green not only neutralizes the red and makes it more shadowy, it drops the value as well. It drops both the intensity and the value, and you want that. A shadow does not need to be bright. Here, I'm going to add some green under the tongue there. This is kind of in reverse, and add some red, its complement on top. So I'm just playing around with colors right now. Remember that when you're shading, you want to go from a dark to a light. So start light, and then go back in to areas that you can identify as being darker, and make those darker, and then if there are any curves to follow, follow the curves dark to light. This is blue. Blue's complement on the color wheel is orange. If I wanted to add a more convincing shadow there, I might drop in a little orange, and that will neutralize and reduce the intensity of that color. So I'm just going to keep working at this, dark to light. You've got to have your lights in there right away. It's the first thing you do when you pick a color. You lay it down lightly. Then you go back and decide on the areas that are to be dark. And if there's any middle values, those are very important to get in. So here I have light, medium, and dark. If that shadow creeps up around an outside edge like this, I'll add it, or around this outside edge, or this outside edge. Seems to me this thing right here needs to have some color now in response to the purple. Maybe yellow by itself isn't doing the right trick, so I might blend a color with that. I might blend in an orange, all right? I might take a little bit of blue and put it here on the teeth. It's going to mix with the yellow that's over here in the corners to make kind of a green, kind of an awful green. That's okay for a monster with awful teeth, okay? I have this light pink, fleshy color that I used for the nose. I could press hard and go dark to light with that color, but you know, pink is really red mixed with a lot of white. So if you take red's complement, which is green, and use just a little bit here on your pink, that'll neutralize to give you a somewhat shadowy tone. That's turning kind of greenish color. I might throw a little bit of blue on there to shift it and make it a bit more brown. This happens to be a purple. Purple has blue in it. So you notice, except for the black lines that I was using when I first drew this out, I'm not using any black pencil at all. You don't have to. Little purple there seems to do the trick on those fingers. Dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. Purple is kind of turning out to be kind of a nice all-around color. There's dark to light there. I'll get that little thing dark to light there. Go back into the bloodshot eyes, maybe a little bit of dark to light there, dark to light there. Throw a little yellow in there to turn that red into an orange. Red into an orange right there. Blue's handy, blue and red go together, so throw a little blue in there. There's not a rule that tells you what color to use when, You just develop your own sense of color, and that becomes part of your own personal style as you draw things, okay? I think I want to go ahead and put a little shadow down here where the tongue may be throwing a little bit of shadow down on the teeth, or a little shadow here where the nose may be blocking a little bit of light falling on the side of the teeth there. Looks like I could do a little bit more down here on the foot, so I'm going to go dark to light down here, increasing contrast between the white background and the foot itself. Go ahead and go in here and create some strength to those designs. Maybe throw in a little bit of blue color crawling up that leg right there. Here I have green. I might go back with a different green. Dark to light, dark to light. So he's pretty much done. I might go back in with a little more purple here to give some shadow to those fingers. Let's see what we can do over here to get this guy finished. I have a little bit of shadow creeping in along this right edge, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the purple. Dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. If I'm not happy with the amount, I'll go back and increase it. But I'm not going to do everything all at once, because what if I overdo it? Well, that's a big mistake. So do it a little bit at a time, okay? It might be that my reds are too pale right now. They're kind of washed out. So I may want to strengthen them. You notice how I turn the paper to position the paper in a way that's easy for me to my right hand to get where it needs to be. This darker red is also a brighter red, a more intense red. It's a stronger color. That's neither a good or a bad thing. I just want you to notice that. The white stripes, they're functioning okay, but I might go in here and drop a little bit of darkness to the side there, just to indicate a very slight shadow falling in along there. The face is pretty pale. Let's get some color in there. Remember that pink is really red with white added to it. If I wanted to take a green, I could add it here on top of the pink, and that would help to neutralize the pink and make it a little bit browner. Right now it's looking pretty green, so I might take a little bit of purple and put on top of that. You need to be a little experimental with color, okay? I think that's done. On the back of my paper, I have my three primaries, blue, yellow, and red. Blue's complement is orange, so let's say I blend orange with blue. You're going to expect a neutralization to go on, and there you go, you got your brown. Good shadow color right there where the two neutralize. Yellow's complement is violet. Let's pick this one up. Violet's a mixture of red and blue, so there's the violet, a little bit more red than the blue is. That's neutralizing to give you kind of a neutral warm gray. And over here, red's complement is green. Let's find a decent green. That one's got too much blue in it. Here we go. This has some blue in it too, but maybe not as much. So here comes a green. It'll neutralize the red. That's an excellent shadow color right there. So you can see primaries and secondaries. I'm mixing them both to get some interesting neutrals right here. The neutrals are really good for shading. You don't have to use black. When push comes to shove and you just need kind of an all-around pencil to use for shading, purple works pretty good, but it can get a little overdone after a while. So it may be you want to add some other colors with it, all right? So your final has to be fully colored and fully shaded. Pick the color, decide where it goes, lay it down lightly, evenly, tightly to your edges. Go back, find your deeper shadows where they belong, add those in little bit by little bit. If you have curves at all, you follow the curve dark to light, dark to light, dark to light to give each portion of your design some sense of form. Now, you try.